What's up, y'all? BMW 73 here. Let's talk about some parts for a minute that are on the expensive side when you talk genuine BMW parts that are very, very steep. And for your typical guy that's, just getting by on, paycheck, he's not going to be able to afford one of these unless he's got a bank. Okay, so this is $1,000 for this thing. Does anybody have a clue what this thing is? And what the hell does it do? What does this thing do? Okay, this is called the eccentric shaft. Okay, so what does the eccentric shaft do? What is its purpose? What does it do exactly? What are all these needle bearings? What are all these needle bearings? What do they do? What is all these teeth here? What is this thing? I mean, what the hell is this thing with the spleens? And I mean, what is going on here? What are these things? I mean, what the hell is this? Somebody please chime in and tell me what this is. I'm just kidding. I know what it is, but not many people are going to know what the hell this is, okay? And there's people out there that have left these off. They have forgot to put one back. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to ruin your whole rebuild. This is not like leaving one bolt out of 3 off of the alternator or a few little, bolts off of your splash pan on the bottom of your car, okay? This is what's called a limiter, okay? So it limits how this operates. Both of these do, okay? So you have to just take your time. You got to make sure that this goes back on. So you have to do that, okay? It stops it over here, see? So it allows it to only stop. So it allows it that there's one on each side. So you just got to it'll stop. And what this does, so because people's like, well, what do you mean stop? What this thing is it is, like I said, it is an eccentric shaft. What is the eccentric shaft's job? What the hell does this expensive $1,000 piece do? Okay, before I get into what it does, I will check myself on, what I said in my video the other day, like the parts aren't that high. Now, some of them are if you are going back genuine BMW, see right here, BMW. Okay, so this is a genuine BMW eccentric shaft. It is pushing $1,000. FCP Euro wants like 900 for it, and carparts.com's wanting a little over 1,000 for it, I think. Okay. What its job is, but now China, you can get it on eBay for a couple of $100, 150 in some places. And will it perform the way that the genuine BMW eccentric shaft does? Well, I don't know. Maybe. I don't know, though. But if you don't have $1,000 to spend on this, then what choice do you have other than to just go ahead and roll the dice on the China eccentric shaft? Okay? All right. Well, let's get into first what it does before you want to make the decision whether or not you want to, whether you want to save up and get the BMW one, or do you want to just say, hell, let's just go ahead and order eBay. They'll be here in a couple of days, and we can go ahead and throw it on, okay? And that's another thing I'm going to get into. You can't just throw this thing on. It just, let me tell you first what it does, and then you'll know why you can't just throw it on. Okay, even though it is fairly accessible, it's not easy to take off. You can't just take this off, walk off, and then put another one on just because you've removed your valve cover. It doesn't work that way. Okay, now what this thing does, the eccentric shaft, its total job is it just controls how far open your intake valves come open on one rotation revolution of your intake camshaft. Okay, there you go. That's all it does. That's what it does. So if you don't have these limiters in there, think about it for a minute. That's why a lot of mechanics don't like working on BMWs and Mercedes and things like that. Audi included, Volkswagen. I'll throw Volkswagen in there too. Um, and I'm not just picking on German stuff because they have great car engineer. I mean, we know that, man. I've been seeing BMWs since I was 5 years old, driving around, but and still see them to this day. But these limiters right here have to be put back into the vehicle, okay? They have to be put back in. You cannot, under any circumstances, forget these. You can't just say, "Damn, man, I forgot to put that in." Oh, well, no problem. Just pop the hood and just take your 11 mil and screw it in. It's too late, man. If you fired the engine up before you've noticed, you've cost yourself the entire rebuild. It's going to be a catastrophic failure. And what all damage will it cause? I don't know. It's going to it's going to mess things up. Okay, you're going to be in a world of crap. And now this thing is what's called your Valtronic motor. These teeth, grab here, right here. It turns, okay? And you've got a plug, a cable comes over and it plugs into here. Not straight into here. It's another piece that goes on and then it plugs in. But as you see, you can get these Valtronic motors a couple of $100. They're not real expensive. I don't really know what the genuine BMW one like this would cost, but it's probably not too cheap. That's what I'm saying. Now, some of these parts are on the expensive side. Like if you're going out here and I need a genuine BMW turbo. Okay, and you don't know about the little cartridge trick repair, then you're going to drop $1,500, $2,000 on a genuine BMW turbo. Easy. Okay? I mean, you might be able to find some on eBay for $800. I've seen some on there for $750, $800. But why do that when you can go on eBay and get a cartridge for like $200 and something and get the circlip, and then you can put that, whether it's China or not, I'm not really sure where the cartridge is from, but anyway, it will fix your turbo and it will get you back on the road. Now, also the China Eccentric shaft, I'm sure it will do the job. And I mean, this thing is made out of hard steel. So if the China one, it could break. I don't know. If somebody sees this video that has bought a China Eccentric shaft and installed it on their BMW or whatever, and they've had some bad luck out of it and it cracked and broke or something, let me know. I would like to know, because I'm all for saving $1, and I would not pay $1,000 for this. I'm going to go ahead and tell you that. I would not think twice about ordering the China Eccentric shaft. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and throw that out there. And how long will it last? I don't know. It's not real easy to replace either, because you have to take, even though it is held in by 8 of these, which is T30s, it's got caps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. And it's bearings. Also, I mean, these needle bearings right here, they go up against the cam ledge. And and the caps have bearings in the caps. Okay. So you got to lube all that when you put it back on. But will the China one perform? I don't know. But getting back to the job at hand here, how hard is it to replace this? Well, those crazy springs on top of the intake camshaft I showed you the other day in my video, they have to be removed. Okay, which means once they're removed, you have to then remove the rockers, then the lifters, okay, and then the tension will be off of this where you can remove your eccentric shaft. Okay, do you have to pull the cylinder head in order to do that? I don't think so. Okay, from me just looking at the job, I don't see where you have to pull the cylinder head to do that, because you're not going to have to remove the bottom springs which are going over your valve stems. You're not going to have to remove that set of those. What are they? Those 8 there. You're not going to have to remove those springs there, okay, that are covering your valve stem seals. But you will have to remove those on top of the camshaft, the intake camshaft, which if you don't have that special tool, you play hell. You're going to play hell getting it off. And if you go with that method that I showed you in my last video, you make sure that you have either a good chimney stick or you got a good, steel pipe or something going through there that's going to be small enough to go through all of the springs there, and then you hold it, get somebody to hold it, and then you can take that E8 bolt out and do that. But it's not going to be easy doing that. It sounds a little bit dangerous, so that's why I went ahead and and dropped the money on the special tool, because it made things a lot easier. Okay, so I just want to know about the China Eccentric shaft. If anyone happens to stumble upon this video and they have purchased one, just let me know. I mean, you can always take your China Eccentric shaft and take genuine BMW needle bearings and install them on your China Eccentric shaft. So, but this thing right here is a lot more expensive than I thought it was. Okay, so there are some parts that can get up there pretty high. We all know that catalytic converters are pretty expensive. I haven't priced the BMW catalytic converter, but I'm guessing probably 400, 500, maybe a little bit more. I don't know. I don't know. But there's always China, But I don't want to China my car out, okay? I'm going to keep from that. That's why I opted not to put in the China head gasket. Because I was like, Tony, what are you doing? What are you doing? That's the whole reason you're pulling the whole car apart, is a head gasket issue. So we don't need to go back with a $25 head gasket, even though that's a super duper price here. I'm thinking, damn, $25 head gasket, that's not bad. But I didn't investigate exactly how much the original genuine BMW head gaskets were. And the L-Ring makes a really good BMW head gasket. And it's about $75-$80, but the genuine BMW one was $125. So I went ahead and bought it because the head gasket that was on my car lasted 14 years with that head gasket. So, hey, can't go wrong there. But the Eccentric, that's another thing altogether. But this is the Eccentric shaft. You want to always make sure that you put your limiters back. Okay, these don't have to be torqued down. You just snug them up. That's all you do, okay? You don't torque these down. You just snug them up real nice. And that's all you need to do. So it's got a pretty decent sized stem on it. So you just put them in, take your 11 millimeter, and you snug them down pretty decent, not real hard. And then that's all you need to do. You got your limiters on. So you really need to do that for sure when you've installed your Eccentric shaft. That way, even if you have to remove the limiter, which you will, you might have to remove one to put a head bolt in or whatever, but put it back. Make sure you put it back, okay? There are things that you do have to move out of the way to put your cylinder head bolts in, like your oil squirter that is up on the shim on, I think, the third shim on the top of the spring. You'll have to remove that, which mine's already off, but I'm saying you have to remove that to get access to one of the head bolts, okay? And there's just a couple of other things that you got to do to access your head bolts to be able to torque them down. Anyway, that's all. I just wanted to talk about this and just kind of check myself on. There are some of the parts, and we all know that are very expensive. On these Mercedes-Benz, BMWs, and Audis. They're expensive. Like this one. This Eccentric shaft is pushing $1,000. That's a lot of money. Okay, so it just goes to show that you may want to steer clear of buying one of these cars. Because, in my opinion, you want to go back with good parts. You don't want to go back and China your car out. Okay, because it could be bad for you. So my opinion is try to keep it OE, original equipment. Try to keep it OE or OEM, genuine. Try to keep it there. And if you can't, you got to reach out to China for an eccentric shaft, then I completely understand. You know, I mean, like as I mentioned in my last video, I mean, it's cost a lot of money. It's costing a lot of money. I've poured thousands into this car, okay? Thousands upon thousands of dollars, okay? And I hope to, when I get it together, to have something that's really dependable and that will last me for a while, okay? Will I put it up for sale? No, I'm keeping the damn thing. Too many blood, sweat, and tears over this thing. I'm keeping it. Okay, I'm keeping the car, and I'm gonna drive the wheels off of the damn thing. Okay, but that's all. Y'all have a good one. And hey, if you got to reach out to China for an eccentric shaft, I completely understand.